ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मृतं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our Iskcon official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, in which there is description of descendants of Dhruva, up to 12th chapter, from 8 to 12. These 5 chapters we discussed about Dhruva Maharaj, and we also discussed what is the result of hearing Dhruva pastimes. So now the description of descendants of Dhruva is there. Vidura inquired about Prachetas, because in the 12th chapter it is stated that Narad Muni was describing about Dhruva's journey to Dhruva Loka, a spiritual planet, in the assembly of Prachetas. So Vidura inquired, Kete Prachetaso nama Kasyapatyani Subrata Kasyano vai Prakhyataha Kutra va Satramasata. A greatly advanced devotee, who were the Prachetas, to which family did they belong, whose sons were they, and where did they perform the great sacrifices? So in the purport, Srivastava Swami says, Anvavaye means Bansi. This I will say family tradition. So in 6 from 6 to 20, these 15 verses Maitreya will describe about the will give the answer. So from 6 to 11, the qualities of Utkala and his Vahanprastha is described. Because Dhruva Maharaj's eldest son was Utkala. So our this state is called Odisha. This is Utkala. Previously it is known as Utkala. So anyway, Utkala, in verse 6 it is stated, the great sage Maitreya replied, my dear Vidura, when Maharaj Dhruva departed for the forest, his son Utkala didn't desire to accept the opulent throne of his father, which was meant for the ruler of all the lands of this planet, the entire land, Bhumandala. We cannot describe. So, but he was so elevated in bhakti that he didn't desire to take the charge of this kingdom. So Utkala appeared to the less intelligent persons on the road to be foolish, blind, dumb, deaf, and mad, although actually he was not so. He remained like a fire covered with ashes without blazing flames. So, for this reason, the ministers and all the elderly members of the family thought Utkala to be without intelligence and in fact mad. Thus his younger brother named Vatsara, the son of Brahmi, was elevated to the royal throne and he became king of the world, entire Bhumandala, king of the world. So then descendants of Vatsara, Prachetas will come in this some succession, disciplic succession, or in family tradition. The 7th king was Anga and his son is Bena. He is famous for being an atheist. Bena. We will hear it about Bena in the next chapter, 14th chapter. So it is stated by Maitreya Muni that Bena was caused by sages, and on churning came Pruthu. Bena was an atheist. When great sages curse, their words are as invincible as a thunderbolt. Thus when they cursed King Bena out of anger, he died. After his death, since there was no king, all the rogues and thieves flourished, and the kingdom became unregulated, and all the citizens suffered greatly. On seeing this, the great sages took the right hand of Bena as a churning rod, and as a result of their churning, Lord Vishnu, in his partial representation, made his advent as King Pruthu, the original emperor of the world, Adhiraja. Pruthu. We will hear about Pruthu also, Pruthu Maharaj, how he performed sacrifices. All these things will be described here. So, from 21 to 24, these four chapters, four verses describe Vidura's astonishment and inquired. Such a great king, and his descendant was Bena, such an atheist. How is it? So, Anga, so that was being answered by Maitra Muni, that Anga performed Jagya. While performing Jagya, no demigods appeared. So he inquired, why demigods are, because this Karmakandya Jagya, fire sacrifices, that is offered to different demigods. The Lord also says this in Bhagavad Gita. Te deva bhavata naina te deva bhavantu na paraspar bhavantu sriyam parama apsata ishtan bhogani vo deva dasyantu jagya bhavida te dattana pradaiva jo bhankti stena sa. We get our supplies by the demigods, and we should, if we do not offer them this also, then we are stena, we are thieves, definitely we are thieves. So these sacrifices is sacrifice is directed in Veda, Sajagya Praja Sustra, like that. In Bhagavad Gita, everything is there in Bhagavad Gita. So when he inquired, this Anga inquired why demigods are not appearing, so the head priest said, O king, in this life we don't find any sinful activity even within your mind. So you are not in the least offensive, but we can see that in your previous life you performed sinful activities due to which, in spite of your having all good qualifications, you have no sin, you have no son. So you can understand that those who are not having children, it is for this reason. So what to be done then? They suggest sacrifice. Then Yajna is to be done. So in 35 to 39, this described how these oblations were offered to Lord Vishnu. So that so this boy was born. Lord appeared in that fire sacrifices, and he gave him this King Anga, some charu, some we may say some sweet rice like that, and it was offered to his wife. So she bore a child. The boy was born partially in the dynasty of irreligion. His grandfather was death personified. This wife of Anga, that Anga's father was a death personified. And the boy grew up as his follower. He became a greatly irreligious person. So in this way, Bena was so cruel that while playing with young boys of his age, he would kill them very mercilessly. As we are killing like mosquitoes, etc., if they bite us. Similarly, as if they were animals meant for slaughter. Then the king thought, King Anga thought, a bad son is better than a good son. Because a good son creates an attachment for home, whereas a bad son doesn't. A bad son creates a hellish home from which an intelligent man naturally becomes very easily detached. So in this way, we will see that in every circumstances, we will see the compassion, the mercy of the Lord. Finally, when the citizens, Anga finally, then he left home unnoticed. He left home. When the citizen couldn't find any trace of the king after searching for him everywhere, they were very disappointed, and they returned to the city where all the great sages of the country assembled because of the king's absence. With tears in their eyes, the citizens offered respectful obeisances and informed the sages in full detail that they were unable to find the king anywhere. So, in the next chapter, it will describe how Bena was appointed as the ruler, and he misruled. He was an atheist, And this we have already discussed in the 10th canto, I mean 7th canto. It will discuss. This Yudhishthira Maharaj will refer to this Vena. You will hear it in 7th canto. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.